What's up, guys? Warrior Farmer back with another garden review for you guys. And this is the possibly one of the last updates we're going to have for the year, seeing as how it's the beginning of October and in zone 5A, that basically means plant death. We've been having some temperatures sub 10 degrees for the last week or so, so my plants haven't been too happy about that shit. But you already know what time it is, man. It's about the time in the season where we start preparing our plants to die off, hopefully getting the rest of the fruits off, and basically getting what we can from them before they die out. Now, I do have 1 week left of plus 15 degree temperatures at night, which is ideal. But after that, the temperatures are going to be dropping to sub 4 degrees. So I really have the rest of the week to get whatever I can off the plants. It requires some strategic trimming, and I will cover that in another video. But basically what I'm doing is I'm cutting the plants off from focusing on new growth and hopefully getting them to focus on the fruits. But anyways, let's take a quick look and see what we have going on here so far. So as you guys know, I'm going to go through the varieties that I have. If this is your first time watching the channel, I like to focus on culinary varieties that I'm actually going to use and cook in my kitchen. So I do have some super hots, but a lot of them are more culinary varieties and things that I like to work with. I do make selective breeding every year, so that's just how we rock with it, man. I got 2 Scotch bonnet peppers. These have been doing reasonably well this year. They're just starting to pick up. Unfortunately, it's at the end of the season, but I have got a nice jar out of them. Now, when it comes to your favorite plants, I always recommend that you guys double up and use more, have more than one plant, if you will, just simply because I know I'm going to be using this in my garden a lot. The Scotch bonnet peppers have been doing pretty good. They've been producing these really big round pods. Now, traditionally, they're a little bit more flat, but I do like the volume that these pods are having. I will be adding them into my genetic diversity. So I got 2 Carolina Reaper pods. Now we have my Leviathan scorpion plant, which has been growing really strangely, super low to the ground, very compact, but a lot of lateral branching. And as you can see under here, there's a lot of peppers still coming in that have to finish. But, they're just turning color. So if I bring them inside, they'll most likely finish. Not sure if I'm staying with that variety again this year, because there are things that I have coming in for next year that are going to blow your guys' mind. So make sure you stay tuned. The Weary plant is basically one of my best producers this year. We've been enjoying this in rice, and essentially it's my favorite plant to add to rice and to season. It really it's hot if you eat the pods by themselves, but to be honest with you, if you add a couple of pods into your stir fry, it's gonna make it just nippy. And we absolutely love this variety. It will be 100% making an appearance back in the garden. I might gotta double up on them shits, because this plant is unreal the way that it produces. And I've been getting some really nasty fat pods on them. So the Weary yellow pod is a coveted one for us. Super chilly plant, obviously a super heavy, vigorous producer. I did notice some growth stoppage as the weather got cold, so it obviously likes a really light, warm climate. Lots of chilies, lots of prolific chilies, and you can see we got some modding from the sun. Just basically it's getting scorched by the sun. But medium-sized peppers, this is going to be good for chilies and making chili powder and stuff like that all through the winter. It's coming to winter time, man. It's that savory food time. You already know what it is. In the back here, we got the Devil's Tongue yellow plant. This has been growing, had a very prolific and bushy growth pattern, but it also produced a lot of fruits. It produced more fruits than my Scotch bonnets, and they are somewhat similarly flavored. This has more of a bright flavor to it, whereas the Scotch bonnet is a little bit more tropical, a little bit more sweet, you know what I mean? So not sure if I'm keeping the Devil's Tongue yellow, although it did produce a lot. I have to give it more thought over the year and see how it goes. Now in the back, if I remove some plants here, we'll be able to get to the back and see what we have behind. Bishop's Crown, very ornamental plant, and it produces these Bishop's Crown type pods here, and you can see they're just starting to ripen up. But the pods themselves are very interesting when you cut them open. The seeds tend to be very neatly packed inside the pod, so if you're trying to extract seeds from the Christmas, the Bishop's Crown plant, then it's pretty easy. Saving seeds has been super easy. I barely even had to dry them out. Most of the time I just cut the pods and leave the seed pod there and it dries out on its own. So super happy about that. Let's drag the Leviathan forward and hopefully not ruin any of the pods that are on here. But I definitely want to show you guys possibly the best plant that's been grown this year, and that's the Peach Ghost Scorpion Pepper. Now this plant, man, it is huge and it is producing nasty, wrinkled, gnarly pods that are turning pink and peach. And man, when you're talking about a stinger on these things, like all the selections I've made from this year have a really nasty stinger on them. And these pods just overall look evil. Super prolific. This thing branched out like crazy and pods are still coming off.